321 321 Scott, your crypto man. I always do this. I gotta drink something. TradeCryptoLive.net, 6:57 p.m. You really don't need to know the time, but it's 11:15, 2018. In the crypto world, Bitcoin had a $1,000 candle to the downside. The support broke yesterday, and big things going on. BCC forked. Don't have a lot of time to talk about all that because this video is the crypto fibs, and this is the beginner video that I'm going to make, and we're gonna basically, and I've got Singularity. I'm just gonna use a couple. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use a couple of simple charts, or just different charts. We're gonna just go around. You guys know what I do. I'm just gonna clean the board. We're gonna clean the board, and we're gonna look at Singularity AGI, and we're gonna look at this chart. And we've only really got, when we look at this chart, guys, we've only got really one leg of money straight down. We've got a pattern here. We've got a place where they took a break. Okay, I'm on a day chart. Okay, so we got a pattern here. This is a place where most likely they hit a fib, but there's going to be almost impossible to find that with the little bit of candles we have here on the day chart. Let's go to the 4 hour. Sometimes it's best to be on the day chart. Sometimes it's best to be on the 4 hour chart. You know, with TradingView, it depends on what platform you're using. A lot of times for me, and I think you may, the longer you pay attention to me, I see better if I spread them out. Now, if you see them better that way, I can't see a thing that way. So when I go to spreading this one out where I can see the candles real good, I can't see the legs of money. I see this. This is not what I want to see. I want to see this big leg of money. That's what's important. So I have to go to the day chart. Some charts you don't have to do this with. You'll have to kind of learn, and you'll have to figure out what's best for you. Now, there's one thing that you can do with a chart that's just kind of like, just think of this. That's one leg of money. That's all they've done. Okay? So the first thing you can do with crypto is go from the very bottom, top of that candle, to the very bottom. Okay, now these are called retracement fibs, and retracement fibs you use in this situation. If you wanted to trade this to the long side, you would use these retracement fibs as potential targets where you would take profit. And if you did that, if you made a decision, just to say that you were going to use the 50 as where you wanted to take your profit. Because the 50 is a fib that if this thing was going to turn and go down, this may be a place where the sellers were sitting, people taking profit, kind of like you. Other people use these lines. These are self-fulfilling lines. Now, the problem is a lot of people don't even know how to put them on their chart right. So it's only, for the most part, professional traders who understand how to do this, bankers who like math, that makes these fibs work the way they do. When you mix in crypto, you got a lot of bots going on, a lot of bot action, a lot of stuff, a lot of kind of who knows what on the exchanges, to be honest with you. I'm not going to try to explain that to you in this video. But the point is, as a trader, as a beginner, because this is for beginners, and I want to go back to actually putting this sucker on the chart, but we need to talk about fibs a little bit too, and how they work. And you guys, I may have to do, I'll take some questions after this one, and then we may have to, I'll do a second one for you. But this is going to mainly be the crypto fibs, but some little bit more other stuff about fibs that you need to know. First, it's a struggle just to learn how to put them on there. But then you got to understand them, and they're fluid. And with crypto, they're very fluid. And some of the things you see me do, you don't understand, and it's because you haven't come over to a deeper level of seeing me do it and teach you about it. And I've got to keep it simple for right now. That's why, and we're going to change your class. We're about to change your class to the inception. I think that's what we're going to change it to. I don't think it's got to be official. I need to stop saying stuff like that. Let me stop. Let me talk about some fibs. Okay, when I ran that thing from the top to the bottom, first thing I saw was that wick right there stuck, and I'm like, my fibs might not be right. Because, if they're going to work the fibs, and majority of the time they do, if you find a coin that's working the fibs. Now, some of these cryptos don't. And when you start seeing some not solid candles and a lot of wicking and stuff and pumping and stuff, it messes everything up. But you'd be surprised how much you would find that they're actually using the fibs. So when you do this, sometimes you don't use the wick. There's a bunch of different ways where you're coming from the top. Most of the time when you're going on the bottom, you're always going to get that lowest point. Sometimes they may go lower in one little shot and it don't matter, and you have to pull up a little bit to get, because your fibs just match up. Now, one thing, you have to learn price action when you learn about fibs, because the fibs and the price action that happens at these fibs, or the price action that you anticipate at these fibs, will determine your execution. And the more you learn and the more you trust them, the better your execution will be around the numbers that the bankers, XRP, like to use. Now, when I look at this, I'm like, these fibs ain't right. Now, your eye probably catches that and says, but Scott, you know, they weren't right there. That ain't what I was trying to figure out right there. These fibs are not for right there. That's on the way down. Now, it's nice they catch it, because it knows that they know something's there, right? They know something's there, but that's not really what I'm trying to figure out. Now, it's potentially that I've got them on right, and they just wicked it, and there may be a square up right there, because they do square ups, and if you don't understand what square ups are, some of you guys might not know what that word means. That's going to be in, you're going to get exposed to it, and then in the main class, you really have to learn how to trade around it, and you know, it'll change your, you know, square ups will change your life, especially in crypto with the wicks and stuff. So right off the bat, I see where I pulled too quick, and so I see that the way that's set up. And what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to move over to the 240. I'm going to give you a, you know, a little real good lesson. I'm going to teach you about what they are. But you know, the basic stuff is learning the legs, and you just got to practice. Every crypto is going to look different. You know, every crypto you come up on is going to look different. So I'm going to come back over here, and you know, I'm going to come down to, see the body right there? I'm going to come down to that body, and I ain't looking down there to see what it did. And bam, just by coming to the body now, and you still got the price action trapped. This ain't supposed to match up with this. We're trying to figure out, where are they going if they turn the ship and start to go. And they showed us they know where the 382 is. If they turn this sucker back around and start going up there, and they break the 382, there's a good chance they're going to go to the 50. And if you if you study these, most of the time they'll go through the 50 and go straight to the 618. Now, another part of your training will be learning the floor and the ceiling. When we live up in a place and we go, we're partying, the way I explain it is, there's too many people showed up to the party, and the floor fell out. It's support. It's a consolidation area, and what they do is they break and they hook and they go lower. But when they start to come back up, this place that they broke becomes a ceiling, and a lot of times you'll get a pretty hardcore sell-off. Not always, but you can go and study once you figure out these things, and go look and study the price action that happens. A lot of times on these coins, that'll be a first place where I scale out, and scaling out and scaling in is we gotta go into a lot more in the other class. So, but there's a good little look at how these Fibonacci's, just the simple Fibonacci's, the retracement Fibonacci's on the way up. Okay. Now I'm not going to show you anything about fib targets right now, because there's another tool that you can use, and it's the fib target tool. The fib target tool, and I'm bad, I'm a little dyslexic with these tools, so I'll grab the wrong one. The fib target, y'all see me, I'll never get, I've told you I'll never get it right. I know, I don't even want to fight it. I've just learned how to fight that battle in my life. The fib targets, when you get a bullish move, you use your fib targets. And your fib targets give you targets above, and sometimes they'll take you into places like on this one. We don't have fib retracements that go that high, so we need fib targets. And you can see when I run that leg of money right there, and I get that target, the first one lines up with the one I already had. Great, because these matter, because these are going up too. The second one lines up, the third one lines up, the fourth one is just a tad bit off, but that's not a fib, that's where I pulled from. So there's nothing wrong with that. That would be a square up. Lovely. And then the potential, if they get into wide open space, is they go do a 5,042 move. They have to do this move for it to get up there. But these things, when they take off and they break these spots right here, rocket fuel moonshots. And they still, after what I saw Phoenix do, it's still in the cards. It really is. So that they could do these moves. So that's what you're looking at with fibs. That's 10 minutes. I'm going to give what I'm going to do. It's 7:07. I do my bubble lounge at 8 o'clock. And so I've got, I can give you 10. I'm going to give you a 10. I'll give you one more coin. And I may keep this series going. I'm going to take some questions and stuff. I think I'm going to ask for, yeah, I'm going to take some questions and stuff and see. Because there's so many different ways you've got to learn how to use the legs. And the more complicated chart I have, the more things that you really got to think about. Okay? But learning how to pull the legs is very, very, very important. So let's go to the daddy of them all. And this is the one that I'll probably, ooh, look at that candle. This is the one that I'll probably end up going back to because I'm going to make some of these for YouTube that are a little different. Not like I'm doing right now, but okay, so let's go. I'm trying to find a chart that I haven't done a lot of work on. Yeah, this is a good one. Again, I can't squeeze it together. You guys see me rolling? If you've learned how to do that, I do that so I can see the candles. You really need to get a good view of the candles. That's why you should go to your higher time frames. You can go to your lower ones, but you got to learn how to see them right. So on this chart, Mr. BTC, what are you doing to these people? We have, and let's just forget about what BTC is doing. It's going down. It's poked down. It may be going a lot lower. That is not the point. The point is we want to look at fibs. Okay, so BTC, I can show you really fast. And it took me a while, and I probably won't get it on the first shot because this is hard to do. These are fib targets, but I'll just show you. If I can remember how this works, because once I take them off, boom, crazy fifth wave. Crazy, crazy fifth wave right there. If I think this is gonna, oh, this is Bitfinex, y'all. This ain't gonna work that good. They probably blew it. It's probably not that one on Bitfinex. I want to get it in one shot, and I don't think I can do it with Bitcoin. Bullseye. Okay, so excuse me. I always. Oh man. Oh man. I had that like I swished on that one. Oh God, I swished on that one. Of course, I went too fast that time. The leg of money that comes right off of that moving average right there. See right there where the money comes in? Boom. Right there. How did you pick that, Scott? Now, this is fib targets, and that's not what this video is about, but I just wanted to show you. Now, I want to show you something else that's important. Another good lesson about fibs. Just because I can pull it and make it go up there and look like it used those fibs, I don't do me. Anybody could do some stuff like that. We got to go in here and look at the price action. And are they working the fibs? And I see they're a little bit off right here. So I adjust them up just a tad bit. It's important the leg that I pull with crypto. It's important on this price action because it gets a little raggedy. Now the 1.68 is a significant place on the way up. And so I see that and I'm like, I'm going to pull that back down. Because that makes sense. The significant price action that happens right here. Now this was not news. This wasn't SegWit. SegWit should be somewhere. I think this is SegWit right here. And you can see the fibs got off right here when they did SegWit, which makes sense because this is a news event. And this is when news event is when your TA is most susceptible to breaking down. You don't want like the BCC thing that happened today, BCC 4. You don't really want to get yourself caught up in that because we can't. It's hard to tell what the money's doing. And you can see what happened with Bitcoin. So I don't want to divert, but there's where the fibs got kind of not right. Okay, they probably still use some. They probably hit a target. There's something I could go in there if I dug into that piece of information, and I could do a whole video on fibs on and blow that piece of information up right there, and we could go in there and figure some stuff out. But right now, I want to just show you price action. So the 618 is an important one. The 618 is as important as a 4.23 if you know how to use it. Okay. In crypto, there's some more significance at these levels, and you really got to start to understand price action. Now, They show me they know what a 1.6 is, but then they blast the 2.68. Well, that's okay because they're in open space, and when they go, I know from studying these fibs, when they go past the 1.68, they have a tendency to just go fast. And I also know that at the 3.6, they have a pretty good tendency of really pulling back real hard sometimes. But and sometimes they'll blow the 4.23 from everything that's matching up because it gets frothy up there. So you have that situation. And I've always kind of thought that Bitcoin blew it just a little bit. And you can see it line up right there and right there. And I'm pretty sure that I've got the lines they're using now. I like to keep them on there because sometimes if they were so significant on the way up, of course they're going to have some significance on the way down. You can see it, you can't really trade off of this, but you can see some pretty good moves. And again, it looks like it's just a tad bit off, and it's because I think they blew it up there. But to have them 3.68s is, I'm good with that. That's pretty close. You could have got a very, 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 very good long situation right there if you knew how to ride that. Boom, boom. Very difficult W to trade. Very volatile. The sideways move to set up everybody and go down is basically what you're looking at. Buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. When I say buy my shit, I mean that there's 5 Elliott waves down here of organized money. And the 3 that are positive are used to put money in. Boom, one wave. Then they kind of consolidate, flush the weak people. Boom, we put the most money in the 3 wave. Boom, we go up, we pull back again. We put more. Well, here's what happens. Excuse me. Well, crypto's different, so I'm gonna get tongue-tied. The 3 wave, we put more money in, we ride it through, we pull back up, we put more money in on the 5th wave. Then a head and shoulder is formed to get those 3 levels of money out as the people are brought in to buy at the high levels. So as we go boom, and now and these Bitcoin and these Elliott waves, but there's crazy waves in here. Now I can see a 5 here, and the way that they reverse these things are different than what I've always been trained. So you've got a situation where there's 3 positive waves, and that's where the money gets put in. There's counter trend waves where they're sloshing and all people take profit and different things like that. But when they get up to the top, they stick up 3 different heads, 3 different levels of legs of money. Boom, boom, boom. It's a lot easier to say buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Y'all can hear me get tongue tied. And I know what I mean. It's just a little different than if I explained it in Forex because it's a lot more organized. But basically, they're getting out of their longs, they're getting out of their longs, they're getting out of their longs. They got it out really 4 times. But that's the news pump. That's the poll. We're having a crypto party. We fake it up there before we really do what we were planning on doing. And that's just how they work markets. You got a W right there. Once you start seeing some of these patterns, it'll keep you out of situations. We got an exhaustion move, different stuff that y'all have heard me talk about. So, but those are your fib targets. That's how you use that fib target tool. Okay, and I showed you how to use your retracement tool. Okay, and there's just all kinds of different situations and different legs that you would pull. And one of the most significant ones in this market right now would be Bitcoin, right? So I'm going to click the wrong one every time. I already know it. Oh man, I have some things with me, y'all. I got some shit with me. When I really think about it. Now, I've got this one pretty clean. You can see the pop down that we just had. And all I have done, but I've done, you guys got to realize the work that I've done to get to where I'm comfortable with 32. Okay, there's a lot of other fibs and different things I could do here. I'm on Bitfinex, and I don't really like getting my data off here, but it's okay. I'm just going to show you how simply. Now, there's a lot more work I did to get down to the point where I felt comfortable with that 32 and that 48. So when I just empty the chart out, I hate to take that 4.23 off. That's a Dale Curry three-pointer from not Dale Curry, but Steph Curry 3-pointer from the other side, almost going all the way up under the other guy's goal, about to fall out of bounds, and throws that sucker, and swish goes the swish swish. That's when I hit those four. That's what it feels like. I was like, damn it, I did it again. I hope some of y'all feel that. I mean, as much as long as I've been doing charts, it's kind of a great feeling to have something that excites you like that. So anyway, that leg of money I just pulled down, guys. What I'm trying to figure out is they use math. And these are difficult examples, and crypto can be different, but I'm not difficult, but I'm going to teach you. Okay, I'm just going to teach you how it is. And these lines I'm going to see. For one, the most important one coming up, and I've only got two, and they like to work two fibs before they turn it, especially on. And I only know this from studying fibs for a long time, and this has to do with a bottoming. And so you have to, in order to use fibs properly, you can put them on there. I can teach anybody how to put them on there. But there's so many other parts of this market that you have to understand besides those lines. These lines will help you a lot. They'll keep you out of situations. There's a lot to learn about these lines and how to use them. They look easy. That's why people can copy my stuff and go run and try to teach 20 people what they copied from me and can't do it. Because they just see lines. That's what a lot of people just see. It's math. The bankers like it, and artificial intelligence likes it. And they've been doing it in Forex since the day they let Forex out of the banks. Let that sink in. They've been doing it in Forex since Forex came out of the banks. Crypto, XRP, crypto. Is crypto the future, or is the bank's future? Is it a fight against the banks? Is it a fight against artificial intelligence? Or is it a fight against governments? What is it? Or is it a fight against yourself and money? What in the world is he talking about? This is supposed to be a fib video. Anyway, I think I've given you guys enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my personal page. It's going to go into the training program, but we're going to take some sort of I'm going to get my two guys to help me to ask for your feedback. Well, of course you can come right under the video and do it too, and just tell me what you think and your next questions. You may find some people are going to see this video right here and you're not going to be in the training, so the answer will be you need training. Some of you guys that are in the training that see this video, you know where I'm at. And you can ask what you want to ask. We're going to go like that with this one. There's so many deviations to Fibonacci's, and to learn how to trade around Fibonacci's. And I could go on and on. I could make very, very long videos, and I have long videos, and I'm going to be making more that are going to be going into my Slack room. So anyway, that's 22 minutes. I probably can't keep your attention no longer than that on Fibonacci's. We'll go in. I'm just probably going to do that one as number one. That's the crypto fibs. Take a one. See you guys soon.